Welcome back to the corner of the internet where sanity goes to die. Today we're talking about the one, the only, the perpetually moist-lipped king of cringe himself, Paul Breach. Yes, buckle up, because the Chaos Goblin has returned from his brief hibernation to terrorize airports everywhere. You know, it's been a cool minute since I last spoke about Paul Breach, mostly because, to be honest, I forgot he existed. It's like when you lose your least favorite pen and realize life's been slightly more peaceful without it. For a couple months, he faded into obscurity. Maybe he was off somewhere learning basic hygiene or how to blink like a normal human being. But alas, our peaceful streak has ended, cause Paul is back, and he's returned with his usual brand of cringe that makes you question why God abandoned this planet. This happens with lol cows in general, doesn't it? They disappear for a bit, maybe a week, maybe a month, and you think, wow, maybe they're working on themselves, maybe they've touched grass. But no, they always come back, somehow more unhinged than ever before, like a feral raccoon crawling out of a bin to screech at passersby. Paul Breach is no exception. Before his recent hiatus, it felt like he practically lived in airports, constantly traveling, constantly filming himself swaying back and forth like a haunted rocking horse. And somehow, he has the disposable income to do this, which begs the question, how? My personal theory is simple. The people who gift him on TikTok, you know who you are. The ones who give him massive amounts of gifts just so he can say their name in his creepy whisper voice. I'll never understand it. Like, at this point, you can't even comment anything to him because he's turned off his comments for everyone except his favorite simps. So these people are literally paying real money just to hear him croak out their usernames like Gollum finding the One Ring. That's your rent money, babe. Go buy yourself a meal deal and touch grass. But yes, their questionable financial decisions fund Paul's endless travels, which, surprise, surprise, cause issues. Because when your entire brand is public cringe, you can't exactly go unnoticed. People spot him on the streets, they see him in airports, they watch him filming himself licking his lips like a gecko catching flies, and you just know he can't take it. His ego is so fragile that anytime someone records him or God forbid makes fun of him, he throws a tantrum and puts them on blast on his Instagram page. Because in his mind, he's a celebrity. In everyone else's mind, he's a living public health hazard. Let's paint the scene. You're at the airport, sleep deprived, trying to balance a 6-pound croissant, and your dignity after airport security just fondled you in front of 30 strangers. Then you hear it, a faint moaning noise. You look up, and there he is, Paul Breach, phone angled slightly under his chin for maximum goblin energy, eyes glazed over like a haunted Build-A-Bear, licking his lips and sticking his fingers in his mouth like he's about to sample the new soap at Lush. And what's worse is that he does this while recording himself in public, loudly moaning, making squelchy noises. And you just know everyone within a 5-meter radius is reevaluating their life choices, because he's not subtle about it. It's not like he's quietly vlogging. No, he's performing like he's headlining Coachella, except his audience is horrified pensioners trying to buy a 4-pound bottle of Evian.
A plane ride, and if that wasn't traumatic enough, this is what we're greeted with in London airport.
Oh my god, you never guessed what's happened to me. Firstly, I walked past some other content creator today from TikTok at the airport, and his husband obviously noticed me. And you know what? This content creator, he looked like a much older version of myself. But I digress. More important things. Hi.
Right, so I saw Paul Breach at the airport this morning and posted a TikTok, and now he's like crashing out on Instagram and TikTok, posting me and posting like rules and regulations saying you can't actually film in the airport, you can't take pictures in the airport. Wait a minute. This is post that he's put on Instagram. Pause to read it. And then this is another post on his Instagram Well, this made me chuckle at the airport. I thought it were illegal to take pictures in airport. I'm delirious. I'm jet lagged. And now I'm being dragged all over TikTok and Instagram by Paul Breach.
Hey guys, I'm in a Capitol right now. Ignore me, I look a mess. But you'll never guess who we just saw. We saw Paul Breach.
Paul Breach. Right outside an arcade. I was gobsmacked.
And of course, Paul can't handle it when people record him back. Because if there's one thing Paul Breach hates, it's being treated the way he treats everyone else. Like this time, when TikTok user Lauren recorded him from a distance at the airport. She was with her boyfriend just casually filming a quick clip for her followers. You'd think she threw a brick at him the way he reacted. He lost his mind. Posted multiple rants on Instagram about how it was illegal to film him, despite the fact that he's a public figure filming himself in public. Make it make sense. But here's the kicker. The video wasn't even dramatic. She literally recorded him from a distance, said a couple words, and uploaded it. That's it. No screaming, no confrontation, just a normal TikTok moment. But of course, Paul went nuclear because in his world, anything less than full devotion is a personal attack. The man has the emotional resilience of a soggy tissue. Another woman, Minnie, saw him at the airport and posted about it, and honestly, her reaction summed it up best. She looked like she'd just seen her sleep paralysis demon come to life in broad daylight. Because imagine getting off a 14-hour flight, dehydrated, your spine compressed like an accordion, and the first thing you see is Paul Breach gooning by the arrivals gate, licking his lips like he's about to slurp you up like a Capri Sun. And let's talk about the hypocrisy. Paul loses his mind when people record him, but he records everyone around him constantly. Random people walking past, families in the background, strangers just trying to live their lives, all immortalized in his cursed TikToks without consent. Yet if someone dares film him, suddenly it's a crime against humanity. The mental gymnastics are astounding. Now, if you don't know what gooning is, congratulations, your soul remains pure. But for those cursed enough to know, let's just say it involves entering a trance-like state. Well, never mind. Let's keep this monetized. Point is, in these airport videos, Paul looks like he's halfway there. He's standing there swaying, half-lidded eyes, mouth open, making noises like a diseased goat. People called it gooning. And honestly, I see no lies. One commenter said, bro is gooning in Terminal 3 while children are trying to get to Disneyland. And you know what? That sums up the absolute nightmare fuel that is Paul Breach's existence. Of course, he uses these moments to feed his ego, because in his mind, people recording him means they're obsessed. He'll post rants saying they're all jealous of me while simultaneously crying that someone filmed him from across the gate lounge. Pick a lane, Paul! But it doesn't end there, because recently he's been on live streams again, and if you've never witnessed a Paul Breach live stream, consider yourself lucky. They are the digital equivalent of drinking water from a gas station bathroom sink. He turns comments off entirely, so he's basically just talking to himself for hours. The only interaction is people sending him gifts, and he's created this weird little alphabet game to maximize the money he gets. He'll say stuff like, I need someone whose name starts with G to gift me. It's like watching a deranged preschool teacher trying to teach the alphabet for tips. And he's dead serious about it. He'll beg for specific letters for minutes at a time, while everyone else just sends random gifts. Then he fake thanks them before screaming for the letter he originally wanted. It's the definition of pathetic, but to him, it's the peak of interactivity. The other day, he was doing one of these streams while walking through the woods. Yes, the woods. Because nothing says mentally stable adult like filming yourself swaying and moaning in the forest while strangers walk past clutching their dogs in fear. He was wearing his usual skin-tight trousers that leave nothing to the imagination, and a shirt so tight his internal organs probably filed a complaint.
Soon, maybe. Lindsay, hope you're good. Hope you and partner are doing well. You and family, you and son are doing well. Person, thanks for it, Rose. Someone beginning with G, Rosie, thanks for Rose. Emily, thank you for the you're awesome. I'm humidity's out, I'm sweating, I'm glowing, I'm perspiring. I do the butcher, I do the baker, I do the home and the family maker, I do the acting, I do the hand stuff. Rosie, Emily, hi. Layla, thanks for the blower kiss. Over there. Rosie, G, someone begin with G. Person, Layla, thank you for the, I mean, somebody beginning with G. G for tractor. Is anybody in there, beginning with G? Mods, is anybody in that lurking, just watching me, staring at me, fantasising about me? Layla, thank you for the love you. I do look cute. Hi. Even when I'm perspiring, ain't it looking cute? What's that? Oh, don't bite me there, you little Layla, thanks for this. Attack, thank you for the you're awesome. That was the live being mosquitoed. Grown man, by the way. Grown man, by the way. You're older than my chihuahua. I don't even own a chihuahua. Someone beginning with G, please. G. 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 G for giraffe. It's all gone now. Do you know what, though? All these temples and shrines, I'm temple and shrined out, to be honest, and palaced out. I'm palaced out, temple and shrined out, but they do have these...
At one point, he started talking about his trousers, saying they're airy where he needs air. Which, thanks Paul, is an image I didn't need burned into my retinas. He also kept going on about how cute he looks, and I genuinely believe that in his mind he thinks he's Harry Styles reincarnated, except Harry Styles showers and doesn't look like he'd steal your socks and sell them on Depop. He also started whispering about being a butcher, a baker, and doing hand stuff. And no, I don't want context. I don't think context would help. If anything, it would make it worse. Watching his live stream is like witnessing a breakdown in real time, but somehow it's monetized. The comments, which he's blocked, of course, would probably be full of people telling him to touch grass or see a therapist, but instead, he pretends everyone's obsessed with him. Because that's what narcissists do. They create an echo chamber so they never have to face the reality that they are, in fact, the problem. And let's not forget his iconic bottle flip tricks. Yes, this 40-year-old man genuinely thinks he's impressing the masses by flipping bottles. He talks about how talented he is at everything, as if that's the skill set that will land him a real job or a function in relationship. Bro, if bottle flipping was an Olympic sport, maybe you'd have a chance at being relevant for something other than giving people the ick. He also keeps bringing up how he was good at rugby when he was 12. Sir, you are 40. Nobody cares about your year 7 PE achievements. That was nearly 3 decades ago. The only ball you're carrying these days is the crushing weight of your own irrelevance. Watching him is like watching a crackhead behind 7-Eleven who just discovered Instagram filters. His movements are sporadic, his thoughts are scattered, and he's constantly begging for gifts in increasingly humiliating ways. He'll pretend it's a game, but in reality, it's just a grown man dancing for coins like a medieval jester, except instead of wearing a hat with bells, he's wearing his stepdaughter's clothes for shock value. And yes, that's another thing. His obsession with wearing women's clothes isn't about gender identity or expression, it's purely for attention. He's admitted it himself. He does it for the views, for the comments, for the shock factor, which is frankly just sad. There's nothing brave or groundbreaking about it when your only motive is to manipulate engagement by being as creepy as possible. At the end of the day, Paul Breach is a man who craves attention more than oxygen. Whether it's people recording him at the airport or sending him roses on TikTok Live, he feeds off it like a tick feeds off a dog, and the worst part is he genuinely thinks this is success, that this is fame, that people are jealous of his lifestyle. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just waiting for the day his phone finally runs out of battery mid-goon and we can all have a collective sigh of relief. But for now, he remains lurking in airports, gooning at terminals, whispering sweet nothings to his phone camera, while innocent families clutch their boarding passes in horror. And we, the cursed witnesses of his endless cringe saga, will continue documenting it. Because if we don't, who will? The world must know what lurks beyond the duty-free perfumes and overpriced croissants. Anyway, that's it for today's Lolcow update. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Paul Breach's latest gooning adventures, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell me, would you rather sit next to Paul Breach on a 14-hour flight or drink airport tap water for the rest of your life? I need to know who among you has the strongest stomach. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you ever see Paul Breach filming himself at your gate, run. Don't walk, run.